Thank you for joining Sports Development Series. We yours truly, Boma Ekior.
Okay, Sports Desk Series. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We have Abdullahi, Usman, Biffo. Coach Biffo is one of the more experienced coaches out of Nigeria. Has coached in Nigerian Premier League for extensive period of time. Also has coached in Ghana. Has a playing career that goes through several African countries and has coached in the continental level um, on the continent. Thank you for coming on, Coach Biffo. I really appreciate it. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, man. I think I wanted to get you on because your experience is just, given everything you've dealt with, there are a lot of questions that I have, and some people I know have as well, as far as Nigerian players and the coaches and the level of development for players, and there just seems to be a disconnect. So, your experience and insight to be very helpful in helping people understand. Hey, this is why there are these challenges. So, what do you think right now of the status of the Nigerian Premier League, the status and the level of where it is?
well, thank you for having me here. I think I appreciate that, at least for me to be able to share my experience, as a coach from Nigerian, my background, everything from Nigerian. And, there is one basic thing everybody believes that Nigeria have everything at our disposal, but how to make use of them, that is the challenges we are facing. And Nigeria League it should be the best league in Africa if only we do it in a proper way and we make it to attract an investor. And the major challenges we are facing in the league now for the past 6 7 years, we don't have a sponsorship. So that is to say that the club have to do everything possible to make sure they're in the league. They have to take care of their team, basically the salary, traveling allowance, stuff like that, and even the match officials. So that is the major problem that's affecting Nigerian football presently now. When the home team have to take care of the match officials, they provide accommodation, the indemnities, and whatsoever. And as a human being, when you are a visitor to somebody, give you a house, give you everything, naturally your heart, your mind will be with them. And that is one of the major problems that is hinders Nigerian league development. And if area of talent, it is what we have. But area of administration, I think that is where we are not really getting it right. And it's a concern for people like us because football is our life. And we always want to see Nigeria to be the best in Africa, even in the world at large. But I think it's a prayer and we hard work. We are waiting for what is going to happen in the next election and see how the next president is going to bring, his input, to change the face of Nigerian football. Because I believe that before we talk about Super Eagles or international levels, we have to look at how we develop players locally, so that we have direct impact. How our national team is going to be solid and good as well. We can't rely on Nigeria based and abroad all the times. You can agree with me when when we are really making it in the continent. That is why we
Yeah.
are giving more home-based players chance to represent Nigeria in World Cup, under 17, 20, even in Super Eagles. But nowadays, majority of players invited are from they are foreign Nigerian players, and is killing the moral of home-based players as well. Despite the fact we are not being exposed to what we're supposed to be exposed to, one, and they are not being given the opportunity, the way they are giving their counterparts from Europe. I think those are the area I think we need to look at, and if only we can seriously look at this particular area, Nigeria will be great.
Yeah. So let me ask you about that. You mentioned that the league hasn't had a sponsor for about 6 to 7 years now.
Yeah,
I think my question is, is more of a question. What is the league management committee, LMC? What are they doing? Is their responsibility to find a sponsor for the league, right?
yeah.
And if they find a sponsor for the league today, how does that work? How do the teams that are in the NPFL, the Nigeria Premier Football League, how do they get um, all the money that's associated with the league? So if the league LMC gets money, let's say they get $10 million today, are they going to give all the teams part of that 10 million? Do you know how that works?
Yeah, I think we used to have the sponsors in MPFL before. When LMC first come on board, they signed an agreement with Globacom. I think
Okay.
that is the best time we enjoy. Every club enjoy, being in a Nigerian professional team because every season the LMC make money available for every club. I
Ah,
think I could remember then it's about 10 million cash to every club, and they provide ball, some kits, even the energy drinks for every clubs, and they take care of the every indemnities.
ah,
So it is not the duty of home team to take care of the match officials. So LMC take care of everything. The home team is just to go to the field, and at that particular time, we see some local companies that come to partner with clubs and so on like that. But I don't know what really happened on that contract. So after 2 years, the contract break down, and we are waiting for another sponsorship. So that up to now, so not any substantial sponsorship. What we used to hear is this company is coming, that one is coming. At the end of the day, we are not going to see anything. So I think and when you allow the government to take care of everything, so that is what we are going to see. Now, they have politicized everything about football in Nigeria, particularly because it is responsibility of the government. And why government see football as a social responsibilities? They don't care about the end results. They don't look at the business aspect of it. So because they are just taking it to favor those, favor them maybe during the election, these particular people fought for us, is a word we won clearly. So that's what is happening. And when the right people are not being appointed to administer the football, so it will reduce, the productivities. That is, it will reduce the input of the coaches, even in the team. Because even though you get to a point before some coach get a job, you have to be the chairman boy, you have to be the commissioner boy, because every aspect of football has been politicized because government is 100% control of all our football. In Premier League now, I think it's only Red Master I see as a private successful club. And if you look at the Red Masters, he's an investor. So this man really investing. If you have 2 or 3 of like Rema, I think maybe the
so
team
wait,
are.
but don't you have Remo Stars, MFM?
No, MFM basically to me is the standard they set. MFM is just for a players that want to really make name. The standard they set is not like Remaster. What I'm
No.
saying is Remaster have everything as every foreign clubs have. Remaster have a sponsorship. Remaster have been sponsored by Bet Niger, and now Falu Jet are coming to be partner to sponsor the Remasters. Remaster are the only team that have their own stadium. It's not only stadium, it's a complex. If you
Wow.
go to Ikene, you need to go and see the Remaster Stadium. It's a complex
Ikene is in where? That's
in,
in
in,
Ogun
in
State.
Ogun State, in
Ogun
Ogun
State, yeah,
State,
okay.
in Ogun
Yeah.
State. And you look at the chairman background, he has a club in Portugal. He has invested a lot in football. And that is why he's really doing the business. He's really the person that I see is doing the right business, of football in Nigeria. Him and Alaji Gafar, Tarsis Lion, and FC Ebiede. So, but it's not left for others to go and ask these people, how are they doing it to generate money for their clubs? Because I can tell you,
Alaji Alaji
Gafar, that 36
Gafar
Lion.
and 36 Lions. That's in Lagos, right? 36
Yeah, it's
Lions
in
in Lagos.
Lagos. It's in
But
Lagos.
36 Lions,
They
I
are
think
not playing professional. They are not
yeah, they
playing
sell
professional league
amateur
now.
players. They sell players to
Yes,
you.
but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, in terms of development,
Yeah.
Decisive Lion, you see every year they have a young players transferred to the Europe and making the huge amount of money from football. Why can't the state government, the government club, does that? Because the people at Imofavia, they are not after the business of football. What they're after is what is coming from the government. That's they call it subvention every month. What they're after is what is coming from the government. Government doesn't care because they see football as a social responsibilities. They don't see it as a business that people can make an account of maybe after the season. So only those few individuals that are doing it. But it's not left for the government clubs to look to meet these people. How are you doing it? And you'll be able to generate money for the club. So until government hand off completely in our football before we can really see the real result. Because the way I see it now, it has been politicized. So the professional people are not even getting right, to be in charge. Because maybe if you are not a politician, you are not close politicians, it's difficult for you, to be able to give what you think, best or what you deserve. I think it's a big problem we are facing. You can't imagine a league in Tanzania is not attracting Nigeria players. League in Sudan. I wear when I see Nigeria players move to Sudan, move to Tanzania to go and play. If you look at this publicity or marketing aspect, Nigeria is ahead of all this country. Look at our population. So what is that? What is that Tanzania and Sudan, those small countries, are doing that Nigeria cannot do? Our best player, and this is when we always move to Tanzania, move to Sudan. I think is really worrisome for Nigerian football, for those in concern, to really concern about Nigerian football. The stakeholder have to come strong and let us find a final solution to this, because it has been like this for the past 6-7 years. So I don't think Nigeria deserves, to be in this position we find ourselves now. Hello? Hello? When I see our best player moving to Tanzania, moving to Sudan, what are those things those countries are doing that Nigeria cannot do? If you look at the commercial aspect, we should be the one to attract more commercial value because of our population in Nigeria. So people, they fail in every angle to find out what's that really wrong to Nigerian football. It's pitching me. I really feel bad when I see best player of Nigeria move to Tanzania. We're supposed to celebrate our best player move to the best league in Europe, not a league in Tanzania, just because of the way the Tanzania, being programmed their league. So we should forget about our ego. Nothing like the only thing we know to say is giant of Africa. We forget about that now. Every club, every country now has come up. We should be able to learn. The last course I attended in the UK, B license, I was fortunate to be with Tanzania sport director. Technical director. He came for the course to. I asked him, "What is that thing that your country is doing now? See, everybody talking about Tanzania league. See how they'll be able to pay the players. I never had the history maybe Tanzania is owning their players. They pay good money. They're attracting more professional players. So what he told me is unbelievable. But government too have to, how to assist, because the Tanzania and especially in Sudan, all the company that they are sponsor a club, not only in football, they give them a free custom duty. Anything they import to the country is free. Those are the money they use to sponsor the sport. So we can equally do that, but people have to let government understand. If you want an investor to come to our sport in Nigeria, we have to encourage them as well. There are a lot of companies, they are making billions of dollars every year in Nigeria. You can equally invest in that. But when people at M of Avia, they are not looking inward to see how we can fix this problem. So we always remain the way we find ourselves, because we keep on doing the same thing. When you're doing the same thing, we get the same result.
No, I agree. I think you have a situation where all these people, if the government owns the club, then the question is, so when they give money to the club, how does it work? They give money to the chairman of the club.
They release money to club as a subventions every month. So based on the financial capacity of that state, you understand? So I don't want to mention figure here. I know how much they release to my club, but the money comes directly to the club account. So when the money comes to club account, from that money that we are going to pay the salary of the players, the staffs, play matches, buy players. So that's what every club does in Nigeria.
So clubs do the clubs think about trying to generate their own money? So do they think like, okay, maybe if we get maybe a few people that know about the business, we can sell tickets, we can maybe try to see if we can get our own sponsors, kind of like what Remo Stars is doing. Do some clubs think like that or no?
Yeah, I don't think if any club is taking that way, or if maybe they are taking that way, but it never works out. Because what I know is when you are putting, let's say, 100 million, or let's say you spend 300 million in the club for a season to run the club for a season, then you are getting 20 million back. So to me, they are not doing anything. I don't see that as an effort. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think much needs to be done. So we have to come back. We have to think about 80s when we have teams like Leventis United, BBC Lions, all the private company clubs. You understand? They are all doing very well. We have a lot of foreigners come to Nigeria and play that time. Many Ghanaian players in Nigeria playing. Players from Liberia would prefer to come and play in Nigeria. You understand? So I think that time the club are really make waves in terms of football. So why now that we're in better time, we have a lot of things now. We have the better facilities now. It is now we're supposed to enjoy football more. It is now we are not enjoying anything. The fans are not coming to this stadium again the way they used to come in the 80s. So I think all these things are worrisome. And a sponsor don't want to put the money when you see that even though they are playing football matches, there's nobody, no spectators.
Yeah.
So I think we have to do something for us to attract the fans back to the stadium. let the fans take this club back. Let them have the passion. Let them restore their passion, their trust.
Yeah.
In
You,
the
you, you, you
in the
think you think
fans.
you think fans are still well, fans are passionate about football in Nigeria. So what I never understood is why don't they come to the games?
They don't come to the game because of so many reasons. One, maybe when they come, they won't see what they expected. They'll be frustrated. There are some certain things I don't like to discuss on the screen. You
Yeah.
understand? When your team
Yeah.
is playing, they put everything possible, but the sometimes the result has been decided before you play the game. So you think as a fan you'll be encouraged to do such things when you feel cheated and there's something you can do? Do you think as a fan you want to put your money there again? You understand me?
Yeah.
So a lot of things have to, this insecurity. When you go to a fan of the game, you'll be afraid of your life. Do you think a fans want to be going there again?
Yeah, there's no security. Like you're right. A lot of games they might not be
So
secure.
yeah, those things have to be put in place. If you are in a way, go and play in away matches, even where you have a large fan supporters, your fans will be afraid because if the team in a way won, nobody knows what's going to happen because of spectators or the fans. I think the spectators need to be educated as well. It's not do or die affair.
Yeah.
And why it's like that is because maybe the chairman of the club was favored because of political muscle strength and want to get result to retain his job. So he will be using VAS against so a lot of things. But the major problem I see because it's still controlled by the government. Because if it's one man club, I will think inward how to make money for the club. Doing that, the fans will come. But what the management is doing is just to get the support of the fans so that they will retain their job.
Yeah.
You understand?
I
So
understand.
even though the team is not doing well, they will blame the match officials so that the fans can talk, they can react. Just because the chairman wants to save their jobs.
Yeah. What do you think? Let's talk about selection of players. What's the scouting process like for clubs that want to pick players to be on
Yeah,
their roster to
yeah.
buy play?
Basically, I can say on my own side, in Nigerians, we have a lot of the agents we have in Nigeria now. If you are not equal, the coaches or the players we have, they are more than them now. The agents we have in Nigerians now. So it's not left for the coaches now, to know what you want. Because I believe as a coach, the coaching job starts from recruitment. If you get it wrong, you are going to struggle. So it's based on you as a coach, what do you want for yourself? You want people to mislead you, that is your own cup of tea.
Yeah.
After 2-3 games, they kick you out. So basically, I don't even welcome the agent calling me for the players. If I see a player, I make inquiry, they say it belongs to so person, I'll be the one to look for you. Because it's me that need you, not you that need me. So I only want a player that's going to help the team, not the player the team is going to help. Some agents want you to develop their players based on the relationship they have with the coaches. And some coaches go along with that. You understand? But basically, how I recruit, as I said, the recruitment has to be on base of need. When the season is going to the end, in your mind as a coach, you have the picture of your team, how your team play, how do you want them to improve next season, what kind of player you can bring to make it work. So when you are playing opponents, you'll be looking at the opponent teams, their players. Okay, if I have this player in my team, the way he's playing can fit into my pattern, the way I want him to play. That is number one. Then that is when then two, maybe after the season, and you look at the analysis of your teams. Okay, what is the plan of the team? What you have, can you still continue with some of them? Maybe they can improve on that instead of you bring many new players. Or okay, you play some matches because what we call preseason tournament in Nigeria is what every club is doing now. They take a team away from the state, go and be playing. So through that processing, they are picking the players. They invited some players they've never seen before. They use them for those matches.
Yeah.
Thereafter, their performances, and to me, I don't see that as I don't see that should not be the yardstick because football is a long time ability, not what a player can give me today and tomorrow you cannot give me. You understand? You need to stay with a player at least for a certain time of period before you can be really assured because football is all about mistakes. We only want the player that can make less mistake or that is very coachable. If you make mistake, you talk to him, he corrects himself from there. So if you're going to make another mistake, you have to be new. So the coach will be happy because without mistake, coach doesn't have a job. So it depends on what coach you want. But as I told you earlier, before the season ends, I've already finished my recruitment because I know the problem of my team. I know the kind of players I have to bring. So 38 matches I played in a season, apart from cup. You can't tell me I don't see 1, 2 good players. Not until one agent now call me. You understand that? Oh, I have one Maradona in the Republic. I'll bring it for you. You understand? I will now shut down the door of the one I've seen clearly that I've watching us playing against my team 2 times. Another thing is I believe in this. Give a young players a chance. I mostly go towards the lower divisions. Maybe my team I free this weekend. I don't play a match, or I play on Sunday. A lower division is play on Saturday. I always go there. That is where you see a run talent. That is why you see a player that ready to work for you. That's where you see a real warrior that is not thinking about anything. What he's thinking about is football. So those are the basis I myself I recruit my players. I have to see.
Yeah. Do you
It's
think
based on that's it.
do you think the academies, all the academies that have been created so far, because some of these academies, you notice that they don't even try to get their players into the league. They just try to get them ready, try to sell them off to European teams. Do you think that is
You know why many academy are just wasting their money. I will tell you the reason why. Because there is nothing like coaching education in Nigeria. We don't really have real academy in Nigeria. What I mean by academy should be the priorities of every club, because that is the foundations. That is where we're supposed to have a good coaches, the good educators to handle them. But in Nigeria, those we have there are not even qualified. I'm sorry to use that language. They are not even really. And these are the people that are doing this job. And that is where Nigeria is supposed to invest. All the clubs want to invest, because we don't have the coaching education. As I say, I'm sorry to use that language.
No, you're telling the truth. You're right.
We don't monitor coaching progress. We don't monitor the coaching qualities. We don't try, to equip our coaches. And I believe that is what of coaches. The coaching job is to impart the knowledge into the mind and memory of the players for them to better of themselves and the society in which they belong to. But if the coach doesn't have the right techniques, right ability to impart that knowledge to the players, how do you think that player is going to develop? He's going to develop on what he thinks the best, and by the time he gets to the top, then it will fade out. And that is why I say money academy in Nigeria, we are just they are based on money. Oh, I have money, get academy. Somebody will just come and advise you. Oh, get football academy. Oh, do this. We sell player $2 million. They are just listening to what people will tell them. Oh, we sell one player $2 million. Nobody will hear that figure. That will not think twice. Do you understand? But if you are not ready to develop coaching, they are not ready to develop coaching, or we are not ready to put the structure for our coaching education in Nigeria. That is what Brazil is. That is why Brazil is making it, as I'm talking to you now. That is why the English are the best, because they invest much on. You can't imagine some coaches that are coaching academy in England. They are provide, their name, they are very knowledgeable, because that is where it's needed. But what all Nigeria know is, I want to coach Premier League. You know, without nothing, I want to coach Premier League. So I'll just put you some academies. If you look at academy, maybe 1 in 100, we have like somebody like Usman. And it's not academic effort, it's the player quality.
Yes.
Because Nigeria, we are born, we are naturally gifted.
Yeah.
In any sport. So if academy had the opportunity to have that source player, it's not an academy that made it. It's just the quality of that player. We want academy that can make players.
Yes.
That should be the work of football academy.
Yes.
The work academy that the player can start from age of 6, age of 5, so that we're able to monitor their progress. Before some academy get a player, the player is already at his prime age, maybe 19 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
And you call him an academy player. You understand? So that's why I say we have to go back to the beginning. We have to start over. We have to forget about this name first. Let us go back and start over. That is the only way we can regain our superior in Africa, because we are losing it. No country now fear to play Nigeria again.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So for the academy development with coaches in there, does the NFF have, what are the NFF's different grades for licenses for coaches? Do they have?
Whereas what I knew, they used to have, but they don't really monitor it. Because I know, before they say if you don't have NIS, then you can't even do CAF license.
The National Institute of Sports.
For sports. So you have to first go there. When they first bring CAF to Nigeria, we always start late. When they bring CAF to Nigeria, those are the bases. Before you can get that admission, you have to have NIS. But now, it's not being properly followed again. Are you getting me? So
Yeah.
now the basis we are using now is CAF. You must have CAF A before you can coach a club in continent. You must have CAF B before you can be head coach of Premier League. You understand? Then how are they developing that CAF course in Nigeria? That is the first question. We had our CAF B license last, I think that should be about 6 years ago. Up to now, there's not any CAF course in Nigeria as far as Nigeria is concerned. How
Why?
can you blame? I don't know. How can you blame the coach for not having the right license when the program is not even going on?
It's not going on. Yeah.
Not going on. And apart from that, I expect NFF to have their own
Yes.
coaching license,
Yeah. Yeah. Coaching badges. Yeah.
like England have their own. Harris Army country
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
their own.
Almost every country has
They
theirs. Yeah.
run it every year. There's nothing stop in Nigeria as a nation. You understand? We have our own coaching badge. Get it training. Get it every year training. Every year
So
training. Every year
so
training.
right now with the NFF, they don't have anything like that. Like in the USA, you have all the
Yes.
different classes of
USSF.
yeah,
Yes.
USSF
Start from
licenses. Yeah.
yes. Yes.
In and same thing
And
in Belgium. I know about Belgium, Denmark.
yes,
So
Irish, England,
yeah,
we don't have source in Nigeria. The only thing we have is NIS and CAF licenses. And all these seminar, a lot of seminar courses, a lot of that's what you're going to hear. Somebody you can just wake up that bring one white man from want to organize the coaching clinic, and but, there must be a standard, not just to
yes,
do
I agree.
things. There must be a standard. You have to standardize everything so that
But
every coaches will know. There must be an hierarchy.
do you think if the NFF tomorrow, let's say you have this election coming up at the end of the month,
Yeah,
and they elect a new president, and he
president.
comes in and he says, okay, we're going to create a minimum standard for coaches. We're going to make sure that coaches have a certain amount of hours of education, and then they get a license.
Yeah.
We're going to create NFF
Yes.
licenses, and we're going because it can't be free, right?
Yeah.
So he
I'll be
says we're going
free.
to charge a certain amount of money. How do you think the coaches from the different FAs in Nigeria will react to that? Would they be happy or because if
Well,
someone says every academy must have coaches that have a
standard they
minimum
have
license
yes before you can operate as
before you
an
can, yeah,
academic coach.
do you think they'll be happy about that, or do you think a lot of them will be upset?
Well, basically anything that we're doing well. That is my belief. It's not about them be happy. It's about the system. It's about setting a standard. It's about making it professional. Is coaches are going to be at the same end at the end of the day, because everybody cannot just come up and call himself a coach.
Yeah.
In Nigeria now, if you can have 5, 7 players to train, you're a coach. You don't need the license.
Yeah.
From there you can find yourself a national team. So is that time we're going to know who is really have the passion, who is really the coaching is calling. Not because one colleague is doing it making money, I want to go there making money. Because we pay. I know how much I've paid for whoever
Licenses,
to
yeah,
get my
yeah,
C and B
yeah. It's
license.
not
I know how
cheap.
much I've paid.
Yeah, it's not
This
cheap.
last I paid almost 2,000 pounds.
Not
Apart
cheap.
from buy my ticket, do stuff like that. I don't think any cost will cost that in Nigeria. If you are going to do Africa in Nigeria, I don't think that. You understand? So I know the challenges of everybody in Nigeria. I know things is very hard. I know it's very difficult. But NFF can still find a way of make it affordable. The only thing is some standard when they know that those maybe like want to have the A, B as national license. They know before you get to that top, but I've caught a lot of clubs, so you can't complain about don't have money.
Yeah.
But to encourage the Joe coach that I just started, to encourage those academic coaches, they might make another standard for them so that as they are growing, they'll be able to meet up to the standard. So we can't say because of people we complain about the money. We just have to do the right thing if you want to, be at the best.
I agree. I mean, so what do you think about the selection for? Let's start with the national team. Nigeria has 200 million people, or so they say, and then
Almost 300 million now.
you can imagine, and then you have they said most of the people are at least over 60% of the population is under the age of 25, so a lot of
Yeah.
youth, and the weather is warm year round. A lot of athletes. I know what I've seen myself. So I always ask the question, how is that possible? And you can see what's happening. You see in Europe today, almost every game you turn on in Champions League, you see maybe a Nigerian descendant, someone that was parents moved over abroad playing for different clubs. So the question is, why is it that then we pick the Super Eagles? We have a Premier League. and they don't. You hear people like Gennard Raw when he was at the time saying, "Oh, the players are not good enough." Um, they rarely even try to select, and even sometimes when they create a home-based team, they play these friendly matches, they don't do so well. Or even win Chan, which is the African nations competition for home-based players. What are your thoughts on all that?
Where we not completely disagree about Ganeroy. Basically, that is what we made him to believe. Because if you go to some match venue sometimes to go and watch football, it's an eyesore. The way some team we play, we'll be surprised. This is a Premier League team. And when you have two good players in the team and others are not ready, you understand? So you will not see any good team. So just the same thing as what we are saying is all bank on weak coaches. Some coaches what they have to have because you cannot blame coaches too. I know that because I have to look at every angle. A coach that have a job that does not even have a contract, one. A coach that have a contract with a job, if he sacked tomorrow, you're not entitled to anything. That is true. So we want to do everything possible to please the management. We want to save his job. And by doing that, there's nothing good thing will come out of that. I always believe that before I sign for any Nigeria club, in my right hand, my left hand is my registration letter. Since I've been coaching, no club can come the sack Biffo. I only left.
Yeah.
The one thing I will do the right thing. I always make impact. I always make changes. I always make people to see that yes, this man is here, he's doing something. I can't just go to a club because I'm a coach. I want to go and collect the money. No, I must keep the standard. I've done it in several clubs. My Choir United now, they just played their second leg in Niger Continental now. They play 0-0. This is a team. When I joined, let me just give a brief story because no time. When I joined Choir United, when they come in to come and coach Choir United, and I said, let me have the list of 18 players. I only see 2 players that is owned by the club. Every other players are loan.
Wow.
And some of the loan players will say 3 million naira, 2 million naira. Is that reasonable? I said, Chairman, no. Forget about everything first. Let's just put a standard, a foundation. Let's just go for a good players. Go and meet government. Let's just good recruitment. Give me 25 players, no compromise. Let's go around and select the best for the country. Those that are watching current team today, they will tell you for the past 2 seasons, they will tell you if they are not the best, they are not the team that play the best football in Nigeria. And that is only thing this team can survive. Because if you build a player on loan, majority of player on loan, your team is doing well, second round, other club will take them. But let us put a structure down and listen to me. We don't have the money. We don't have that financial muscle. We don't need that much money. Just get the right player. We have the young talent in the national league. You don't need to waste a lot of money to make the team. And that was did. Today, everybody to come to play Kwara United, you have to think 3 times. We are going to Kwara. Because, if you don't prepare well, we'll disgrace you. And these are unknown players. The last 3 years, every national team, they always come to Kwara and pick under 17, under 20 home base Eagles.
So, wait, the players you picked, the players that are, and I'm familiar with the Kwara space. Like I told you, I went to school there.
Yeah, you said it.
So the players that they selected for this club, they were all local boys.
No, not local boys. What I mean, local for other states.
Okay.
Yeah.
They recruited players from different places.
Different states. I did the player from Kwara that is maybe 3. This is not politics. This is maybe because I was criticized for that. I don't encourage home boy. I said, look, football is a professional game. Any home players that you need to prove themselves. You can't say because I'm from Kwara. No. I have to say that yes, you have something to give Kwara. So if you are not better enough, I go other players. But if you are better, I won't bring another player out because this is your state.
Correct.
So I have to go outside. Let me hear that. Oh, so player is also plays is doing well. Then let them fight to bring you back home. You understand?
Yeah.
And maybe 3 players, they are all criticizing, but when league starts, everybody see that Biffo was saying the right thing. The little Kwara boy that are there, they are among the best. I said, do you see any Biffo in the team? I didn't go. I have a brother playing soccer. I have a family in my village. They are playing football. I didn't go there to bring players. Why do you think I will take it because I'm from Kwara? It's a pure professional business. If I not do well, they will sack me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want to because of that useless say because I'm from Quora, I must bring Quora players and I guess I no.
But let me ask you this: speaking about Quora, before we move to all that, the that Quora space is interesting because the time when Bukola Saraki invested a lot of money into Quora Center of Excellence, they did a whole splash, brought big names, everything. What happened to that institution?
You made
And
the KFA?
yeah, Quora Football
Yeah,
Academy. Yeah,
I think Bukola Saraki did a very good job by bringing us the best football academy in
yeah,
Nigeria at that particular time.
yeah. It was a good job. It was a good job.
Yes,
Yeah,
very, very good job. And today, even though in Kwara United now, we have regular 4 players that are products of that academy, that are among the best. We have them in all over the Europe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he set the standard, do you know who is the coach at that time? Who was the head coach?
I think they hired Westerhoff, didn't they?
Yes, he brought
Yes. Yeah.
Clement Westhoff.
Yeah.
Westhoff now brought those he think they can give the best. That is why they have one of the best products in Europe in history of Nigeria Academy till tomorrow. Because
Do you
they have the
recall
right. But
any?
now,
Yeah.
this Bonaventure is KFA product.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, it's a KFA product. So and since then up to now, we are not be able to meet that standard because the government really released everything. It has sent to Westhoff because they really believe in him. So he brings experience and develop Quora. There was a time they brought Moreo. They are playing a match. They have to bring Moreo. They invited a team from Belgium.
Yeah.
Moreo was in Quora State Stadium for the game. But I think after Saraki left, the next governor didn't see it as very necessary
Priority. Yeah.
as priority. So it is new government now is trying to bring it back. So let us all be able to bring it back to where it was there because
But
it was a
the
pride. It was
facilities
a
are.
pride
Yeah.
of we Quora at that time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Quora Football Academy
Academy.
in place because there is a facility in place. If you go to there now, you see that structure or those facilities. Is new government now is trying to bring it back to life. When you leave a certain facilities for years, not used, not maintained, it will
It's a wither away.
whether so.
Yeah.
But now they are trying to
But the
revive.
facility is still there. All the shape of the grass and
Yes,
the hostels they built and everything is still there, right?
everything is still there. Even though the school, now they're running with it's now fully academy.
Yeah.
So you go to school, you play soccer. You go to school, you play soccer. But during West Arab, it was obviously scholarship.
Yeah.
But now students have to pay.
You have to pay to
That
finance it.
that is
Yeah.
different. The best player doesn't have money in Africa. Basically, in
Yeah.
Africa, the
Yeah.
best player find it difficult to even eat three times at that
Yeah.
young stage. So maybe probably that's why they will not be able to get to that. Well, I'm very sure they are looking inward now to see how they can revive the Ghana Football Academy.
As well. And then ABS.
Mm.
Are they still in the Premier League?
No, ABS is the National League. ABS is a professional club,
They got
different
relegated.
from they
Yeah.
got relegated
Okay.
some years
Because
ago.
they are privately owned.
Yeah, by Bukola Saraki,
Saraki. Yeah.
former
Interesting.
Senate president.
Yeah. I mean, he's really invested in football development in that country. So,
Oh, yeah.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. So let me ask you. So for different parts of the country, you see certain areas produce, like for instance, you hear people say things like, "Oh, if you go to Jos, they have a higher volume of good
Young
players."
players, this,
Yeah.
that,
Or if you
yeah.
go to Imo State, and what do you think? Do you think that's true, or do you think that that
I think I've told you this before. If there is anything we are blessed of, we have players everywhere in Nigeria as far as Nigeria is concerned. But the problem is just their mentalities, their attitude, their characters, their system values. Because I was in Brazil, I was in Sao Paulo. So I visited the Sao Paulo Football Club. I have a chat with the coach there. So about how I look at their games. I see we have similar team with the Brazilian players, but the only problem is just system value. The Nigeria players don't think before they have the ball. For Brazilian players, before they have the ball, they decide. And that is why I'm talking about the coaching. It's very, very important. In terms of strength, skills, ability, everything, we are like Brazil. But the only difference is that mental speed. And you go down to coaches. That is what we need to let the players, understand. It's very important. You don't wait. You don't have a second to think in game of football.
Mm-hmm.
You're an inch, because if you miss that moment, you can never get it right again.
Can never get it right. Yeah.
That is just the difference. That's just the difference. Honestly speaking. So anyway, and there's no state I go, I find difficult to find a player. When I was in Casina, the same thing. When I was in Georgia, I don't care. Anywhere I find myself,
So
I
when you
always find the right
went to
players.
Casina, which is northwest, which essentially shares border with Niger, you saw
Yeah.
players there. There were good players there.
Very, very good player. The northern players are very dedicated. They can run 3 hours. But the problem is this mental speed, I'm telling you. The northern players, in terms of fitness, physical tactics, they are ahead or every other part in Nigeria.
Really?
Because of the weather there, or because of their lifestyle there. The ordinary northern players can run from here, can run for 2 hours without stopping. Ordinary northern players. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you have that kind, advantage in your team, so just to bring the other aspect to make them better.
So you think, from what you said, which is really interesting, and honestly, Coach Biffo, that's why I created this platform is talk about sports and development. But I think what you said is really interesting, that the athletes are there, the skill level is there, especially when you compare it to what you saw in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
So it's the coaching.
Yes. Honestly speaking,
I'm a coach.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed to say that. Me too. Yeah. I'm still learning.
No,
you understand? I'm still learning. So it is we. I'm not saying coach. We coaches.
Yeah.
So we need to go beyond just be a coach. You understand?
So speaking about the coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the big issue with our Super Eagles and coaching, and bringing in foreign coaches and giving them 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 a month. Meanwhile, you hire an Eguavon,
you can't even give him 3 million.
3 million, he's not paid. You undermine every decision he makes. He can't even select his team. What do you? I mean, for when I hear these things, sometimes some of them I hear, I don't even know whether they're true or not, because it's just people telling you. But it gets frustrating because you can't have a coach that you've hired to go to AFCON and he can't select his players. People in NFF are telling him who to pick, stuff like that. Is there truth to that? And
well, I'm not trying to defend anybody. I'm not trying to expose anybody on that basis, but I still put it on the coach. Yeah. You understand? Because one, if you get a job, how do you get a job? You understand?
Yeah.
So if you so believe in somebody to get a job, so you have to listen to him to do the job.
Yeah.
But if you are getting a job through somebody, I could remember which job, which club, somebody gave me that job. You know what I told him? I said, I appreciate you for giving me the job, but let me do my work. I owe you this till I will die. But please, let me do it. You wanted to put more, I said, please, let me do my job. You understand? But if you coach, if you don't let them know who you are, that is why I say coach's structure is very important. If you have this good structure in places, nobody will cheat coach. If we are one, all of us are one. If you have a one voice, you understand? Yeah. We don't have one. We don't have a voice. Not talk of a one. If I get a job, yes, I already contacted the contract. I will give them my home. If I fit this Choir United, I'll be happy if maybe my chairman listen to this now. 2 seasons ago, we go to Jebu, the preseason. So we lost semi-final to Lobby Stars. The board member called a meeting. I was so bored that day, but I thank God I control my temper. They say why they are asking why do we lose to Lobby Star? We lost 2 penalties. The same Lobby Star called meeting, fighting their coach that how can Kwara play them like that? I called the Lobby chairman. You know what the Idoko tell me? Say, coach, if it's my team that play the way your team play and lose, you will not complain. But that winning that they won is not a winning. It's just something that happens on ordinary days. You know what they call the meeting? When they want to talk, I say, chairman, please, I want to beg everybody here. If you let me do my job, give me week 9. If I not do well, I will go by myself. I will not wait for you to sack me. I will leave. And I promise you, I will do that. But give me till week 9. Let me do my job. This is just a pre-season. Pre-season, I not care about my team win. I want to see the weakness of the team more. So when league starts, That
You'll be
season,
ready. Yeah.
that's in by that week 9, Kwara United is top the Nigeria League. That week 9, I have said them, we are the number one. When I said that, nobody say anything again. You know what I'm saying? But they
Yeah.
know that yes, I'm confident of what I'm doing. But if I just allow them to talk, I have nothing, nothing reasonable to give them back. You understand? I'll be forced to go in by their way. So you don't need to be afraid of losing that job. The first day you're afraid of losing that job, you've lost the job already. Yeah, people might see, hey, my assistant coach, I know Brazil will say, coach, why will you say that? I said, coach, don't worry. That is why we are coach, to be able to take full responsibility. If the team is this team I'm seeing, we are not assembling a bad team. Forget our result now. By the time league starts, the team will gel very well. If you are not getting it right, then we go. But when you are being protected, you are trying to protect your job too much. If you are too careful, you become careless. That is why I say it. If I'm giving any job today, anywhere, I always do the same thing.
Yeah.
When I was in Kasina, my chairman would always fight on this. I bought a player, I say, I say, okay, go and call another coach to come and coach this team. I'm not going. You cannot tell me who to bring. You cannot tell me who is not to bring.
Yeah.
It's not about you being stubborn. People say Biffo stubborn. It's not being stubborn. I protect my job. I respect my job.
Coach,
but
you're right.
It's not do or die.
Yeah, but you're right in the sense that, I mean, just my exposure to sport, no one should tell a coach what players to buy or sign. You can't do that because if you don't let him make his decision, tomorrow you can fire him if he's not winning.
I don't know
and
why
you
you're
say,
firing
I didn't
him.
pick my players. You picked my players. I didn't pick my players.
Do you know when you fail? You know why you fail? It's not a failure. Now I failed. Let's say my team failed. Well, I know why I failed. I'll be happy. But if you are part of my failure, you made me fail, I won't forgive myself.
Yeah.
You understand? It's a learning process. If it does not work now, I know why it does not work now. If you have the chance tomorrow, you understand? Basically, I will adjust.
But do you think? Do you think a Nigerian coach can become coach of the Super Eagles and then tell all these people, you are not going to select any of my players, and he'll still keep a job?
Yeah, of course, yes. A coach can do that. But basically, you have to be tactical in doing that. You give them a time frame. They will not look at it as stubborn. You tell them, give me so much if I do. You understand? If you took confidence of yourself. Because I know the money administrator, they will tag you as stubborn. Like what they tag Olise now.
Olise, yeah.
If his shot is not coming, they tag you as a stubborn coach. If shot is not coming, you are finished. You understand? So you have to be diplomatic as well, and you have to be sure. The foreign coaches they are bringing, they are not better than Nigerian coaches. I know this.
Yeah.
We have some few coaches in Nigeria that I know that they are better, that they are good, for Super Eagles.
Yeah.
But we have to prepare them. NFF have to respect them. They have to give them all what they want. They have to make national team environment a conducive for them to be able to do the job accordingly in the best of their knowledge. But if you are not providing all these facilities, all these, and there's no way you can do anything because you'll be afraid. Another thing, an African is an African man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody cannot be the same. We always don't want to lose our job, and it's only God that have the job. That is my belief. It's only God that can give you the job. But the only thing you hold yourself is do the right thing. If you do the right thing and it didn't work out that particular time, I can bet with you will still get another better place and God will reward you with that. But when you are being afraid, if I talk to this man now, they will sack me. If I didn't obey him, give him reasons. Yes, if your boss is giving you an advice, it's a directive. Let me your chairman or your NFL president is just calling you as a coach, say, coach, may I advise you? Is to him, you put in an advice, was a directive. But you as a coach, if you know that advice is given you have better option, let him believe in that option. You understand? Find better time. Explain why what you think is the best is not right at that particular time. He's a human being too, doesn't want to lose too, doesn't want you to lose too. At that time, he thinks is the best for you to do. But if you don't explain to him, you don't narrate it, you don't analyze anything to him, then you have to go by him. You understand?
Yeah.
I think we are afraid to challenge. So you cannot always blame the administrators. We have to challenge their decision. No, I'm not doing that. My former chairman, Giwa, oh my goodness, is the best chairman ever. That man, serious. If that man
Well,
would
Giwa
club,
FC.
if that man would the club tomorrow, say,
Yeah.
coach, come and coach my team free. I will offer him that job. I will offer that assistance. You know why I say is the best? We will always give you coach to go and do, but when you lose the match, the man will sack you. Sometime here you'll be argue, say, okay, coach, just go and do whatever you think is right. Because I argue with him. I listen to the reasons. You know, when I left, where he told other coaches, he says only coach Biffo. They're only challenging me. The other coaches, you just tell them this, they will go and do it. I'm at the end, I'm not your coach. How can I tell you everything, then you do it? You understand?
Yeah.
But I will say, I will go to his house. When he talk, I know maybe he's talk with annoyance. I won't answer him that time. I'll go to his house. Shaman, see, that thing, I don't want to argue with you when player body is there. But see, he's a human being.
Yeah.
But if you are not arguing with him outside, you are trying to, you understand, let people that want to impose player to you, he want to exercise his power as the chairman or as the president. That is, Africa, we have this ego problem. You want to prove that, yes, I'm your boss. I'm your boss. But you as a coach, it's going beyond being a coach. You are a group leader. You have to have that quality of leadership. You must know how to amend things. You must know how to get things done. You understand? Without any problem. So when problem is coming, it's your duty to know how to hold it, how to solve it, how to make it work. So don't blame, don't shift that blame on anybody. You're ready to take full responsibility of your team. But some of us fail to do this. In Gua, we are several times here in fight. We will not talk 2 weeks. I don't care. I go to my feet. I will tell my boys, don't worry. Let's keep on playing. We will force to come and meet us.
Do you think that there's the mentality in NFF can change in terms of when they look at the situation and say, okay, look, let us try to create a standard for bringing up our coaches, and then at the end of the day, we know that we have a long line of highly qualified, trained coaches that we can bring into the national team, create a standard for a good salary that can be paid to them if they get hired as a national team coach, whether that is Super Falcons, under 20, under 17, because the problem exists everywhere, right? It's not just Super Eagles.
Yeah.
You have to be able to try to say, okay, we need to create a very high standard. And even for playing all these academies, all these different, if you're coaching in Nigeria, you must have this minimum standard of education.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't, because that way, if you do that, then you're ensuring that all across the country, the quality of coaching is high, whether it's in Sokoto or in Cross River State, right? So, but because there are too many athletes, in that environment
To develop.
that for you not to be able to have that level of standard that you should implement nationwide, and then the FAs, in your opinion, do you think the FAs will comply with something that comes from the NFF? Because some FAs, they operate on their own. They don't really, what do you think?
Yeah, you see, the major problem is we see coaching as a job. That is the problem. And everybody needs a job.
Mm-hmm.
Until we see coaching as a profession. Before we differentiate who is a coach, who's just. But the way we see coaching in Nigeria, somebody like me, I have no reason to leave Nigeria. I was just fed up with everything.
Yeah.
I left last 2 months. I said, no. You understand? Because I know if I come here and little I have, if I continue to put down here, I will appreciate and I will get good reward from that. All my life has been for over 16, 17 years. I've been on the road in Nigeria with clubs.
Yeah.
Everything. I've never been a year without a job. I've been said I'm here today, I'm here tomorrow. We travel all this. I look at everything from up to set, and I see that thing is not ready to change soon. It's not ready to change soon. I must be frank with you. Unless we have a God-fearing president, the incoming, and let us pray the election is going to hold as a scheduled. And let them have somebody they really have the Nigerian people in mind, not his own personal gain or personal selfishness. That is coming there, to get everything for himself, but he's coming there to develop Nigerian football, to make football a better platform for poor people, somebody like us. at least to bring us out of nowhere to get to where people will appreciate and people will see us as a role model. I think this is what we need. And the only way we can make coaching as a profession is to set a standard as we are. This is what we are discussing since. Because what we see as is as a job. I won't lie with you. You just see it as a job. Oh, if I'm FA chairman now, I want to do somebody job. You can go do coaching now, yeah. Go NIS. You call sport council chairman. Please employ him. That is what we are doing. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
I think last year I sponsored 3 coaches to NIS myself in Kwara State. I said, okay, that will be my contribution. I talked to the Kwara State coaching president. Give me the young 3 best coach that they are unable to pay their NIS money. I will sponsor them, and I do it. I don't want to know them. I don't need to know them. I don't want to base it on somebody that I know, but I see that it's a need for me because I know what is take for someone to start learning, to get to know what he doesn't know before, or to see that what he believes on is wrong. You understand? So let's see the thing in the right direction. So I took that upon myself. If I see making a promise that every year, I see made it now, maybe this year again, I will still try my best. I will still call them. I just pray God continue to bless me too. If you do until again, and then go to NIS, and then go there. I think because you have to let people know how to do the right thing. And the best investment is what? Is to invest on human being.
Yes.
Giving somebody knowledge is an investment. It's not only by buying land, buying car, or it's a good investment that you should be proud of. You understand?
I agree.
But
the thing I always tell people that when they tell me, "Oh, Nigeria has oil and they have," I said, "No. Our biggest resource are those people.
human
200,
resources.
300 million, 200 million. That's the biggest resource.
Yeah,
because if you develop them, that space would be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, about somebody have 10 car, 50 car. If my own car can take me to anywhere, did I need to have 2, 3, or 4? Did I need that?
No, not at all.
If my small one can, it's okay for me to go to the job and come back and my family. So why will I be stingy? I mean, why will I be greedy about things? So the system need to be changed, and I pray the thing change in our time because there is no hope. No, we need to be realistic. There is no hope it's going to change soon. I don't see anything on the ground. I don't see any plan. I don't see any structure put in place by the present administrator that give us hope that this might change very, very soon. Until if you have new president, let's see if he's going to, work on that. Everybody know how to say the right thing. I've listened to all their manifests, all the candidates. Everybody are saying the good things, but go beyond. You just say the good things. When they get there now, they become another thing entirely.
Where is a good place to get their manifesto of all these candidates?
And there is one online. Maybe there is one spot online group chat like this. Legis Nigerian football. So I to get some there. The NMS2, this Wale Ajayi platform too in Canada. Okay. You know Wale Ajayi very well?
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but I know of him.
Okay. So he can hide you too. I thought he can hide you. So that is where you get the latest what's happening about Nigerian football through him. I don't know how he used to get those facts. We have to commend him for that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, because there is no fact he doesn't have. That's Wale Ajayi. There is no fact. Okay. I don't know where he's getting. You understand?
No, but it's good. It's good to know. It's a good space for people to question that space and try to know. Okay, all these people coming in, what are they promising? Why is this one better than the next? Okay, you want to be NFF president? What have you done to develop the sport?
Yeah, that's it. What have those that claim to be NFF president now? Ask them. What have they done?
What have you done
in their local area? Don't talk about the state. Don't in their own normal area. What have they done to develop in their locality? Not talk of the state, then their state. Then what commission have they had to Nigeria in particular in terms of development in football? Basically, all of them zero. I'm not afraid to say this. Basically, all of them zero. And some of them have been privileged. They have enjoyed everything, the football provide for them. In these past 8 years of picnic, they enjoy everything. But how many of them?
Yeah, someone was telling me it's really going to be funny enough. Next weekend, I'm doing a session on the election to talk about the candidates. But someone was telling me it's really money.
Yeah, yes,
More
but
money.
do you know why I agree with Minister? That Congress need to be increased. You understand? Then if you increase that Congress, then the merit will not come in. Whoever is going to become the president will be by merit. Because now it's basically state FA determine who become the NFL president.
Yeah.
Yes, the state FA they are major stakeholder. We know that, but shouldn't be them alone.
I agree.
You understand? Shouldn't be them. So now, if the state FA are just behind you, automatically you get the ticket.
And you have
Out
to,
of
if you can give different people in different states money,
yes,
then they'll vote
that's
for it.
all. But when you have 20 Premier League coaches and Premier League Association, 20 vote, you have professional players, you have like 10 National League, I have like 7 female league, I have like this referee. You understand? So that person have to be popular among every Congress member, not just among the FA. You understand?
Yeah.
Popularity is me. What I mean popularity is what we have contribute, your contribution, you make it popular. It's not money given them. What you have done in terms of football in Nigeria will make all these stakeholders stick with you. Oh, he has been doing this on his own. You have done that. You have done that.
That's interesting. Do in Nigeria do we have coaching associations for all the national coaches?
No, we have coaching association. Our president is Coach Ladam Bozo.
Ladam Bozo, former U20 coach. Yeah.
He's not former. He's still present national.
Oh, yeah. They gave him the job again.
Yes, he's not former. So he's our president.
Okay. Whatever happened to that U20 space? Did he qualify?
Yeah, we qualify for the West African region. You know, they play it on the region basis now. So we qualify for the last qualifier now. So we need one more qualifier before we qualify to the World Cup.
I remember he took them a long time ago.
The last time we failed to qualify, we lost in Benin Republic.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, I think. But because of pandemic, so no World Cup.
Yeah, but you know this regional qualification makes it more difficult for.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at Africa, the best teams come out of West Africa, right? So
West and the North.
Yeah. So you now put
Ghana and Nigeria together.
Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal.
Yes,
I mean, what are you saying? You're making it
so if that is one team.
Yeah,
that's how CAF wants it.
It's not a good
because
system.
if we look at it basically before, it has been Nigeria, Ghana, U team. Maybe that's why CAF come up from that. Let us give other region opportunity to represent Africa in the World Cup. Maybe they are wrong for that. Maybe that is basically they look at it.
Yeah, you let the best. You let the best come out. Yeah.
Maybe they look at it. Okay, why is it Nigeria? Ghana? Okay, let's play regional. They know Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria we are the same. Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
So we have to battle for ourselves to get one ticket, and that one ticket is not even guaranteed. You have to go to the final qualification.
Yeah.
So and that is reducing the African power. Let them open it. If the West Africa can get the whole 3 African representatives, let us get it. If the North can get it, let them get it. If South can get it, let them get it.
Exactly. It's almost like saying AFCON. Okay, well, if you look at the last AFCON, most of the teams in the final 4 were West Africa and North Africa, right? So if you say to yourself, okay, well, you know what? These West African and North African teams in AFCON, they are dominating AFCON. So let's make it so you have different AFCONs. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
That's what they're doing AFCON today.
Yeah.
It's regional. So Ghana have to stop Nigeria now. It's Ghana and Nigeria that play. So Nigeria is not going for Chan, not AFCON. Chan Eagles. That is home domestic league Nation Cup players.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So Ghana, because you have to be regional. So West African, you have to face Ghana. So there's Ghana that take us out now. Maybe 2 of us could have been the finalists at the final stage.
Yeah. By making it regional, you're not allowing. Yes. You're not allowing your best teams on the continent.
But that is a CAF decision. That is a CAF decision. So I think all the CAF Congress agree on that.
They voted on it.
So basically, we have little or nothing to do about that.
I'm surprised that West African countries didn't vote against it. Well, they might have voted against it, but they might have been, because even in North Africa, if you think about it, if you do regional, imagine Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco.
Yes. But in age group stage, they are not superior. Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia.
Yeah. They're not.
When you're talking about age group, we are talking about West Africa.
West Africa,
Yeah. Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal. That is where we see.
Their players they are still getting developed.
But the main national team, that is where the North Africa
see them,
dominate. And you know why? Because of the structure.
Yeah.
You know, when we say structure, it's not about the immediate result. The end result, long run result. That is what about in Nigeria. We are after immediate result.
Yeah.
So we don't want to really after how to develop, but we just want the result. You give a coach a job now, you want to win all the available trophy without time.
Yeah.
Without time. But not African, they don't care. At that youth stage, they don't care. But by the time we meet at the top, they are always ahead of us.
Yeah, because they spend at that youth stage, they still believe these players are still developing.
They don't base that on trophy or must win. If they give you a national team coach in Nigeria, if you don't win, don't qualify, they will sack you. Not Africa might not, they will still leave you, continue your progress. You understand?
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, if you miss, nobody care. Either your team play or no. You can't go beyond the second round. If not now, do you ever see England in under 17, 20 make waves? They don't care.
No, they don't.
It's now paying off.
Yeah.
Initially, Nigeria play England under 17 or 20, you can beat them 5-6-0. But now, let me try it now. Or let us meet at the top. That is where we see the difference.
Because they're still focused on development at a young
age.
But
we is all about results. At developmental stage. Everything at stage. At every particular time. But we want result at every stage we find ourselves.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I mean, Coach Bosso, thanks for coming on. I mean, it's interesting everything you said. It's something we discuss here every now and then. I have a co-host. He's not on today, but every time we talk about a lot of these things, and it's true. You know, I always think what would happen if we have a very good and organized academy system, privately owned, that has training for coaches, where the coaches are getting their licenses, youth coaches, even the coaches all the way to U18 coaches are getting, and then the players are getting fully developed in terms of technique and skill. And at the end of the day, you end up having a bunch of guys who are two-footed players across the board.
Major thing we develop in is strength.
Yeah,
you see, every coach is all about physical techniques. Football is not
physical.
About, It's not. What kind of physical technique do you think a footballers need? You need to run 200 meters in 10 minutes. It's rubbish. You need to carry. You are not a weightlifter. It's a little one. Just what will you do when you get there?
Your decision making on the ball, your first touch.
Are you
two-footed?
Anything you are going to do, how are you going to do it? When is it required? And where? That's what you need. The player cannot even run 1 minute without stopping on the field. Where you run 1 minute? No, it's not possible. Why you take a player, say go 50? I don't never take my player to go 10 laps. All the club are
no. Why? That doesn't make any sense.
So I know nobody will watch my team will tell me that my team lack fitness.
No, they'll be fit for sure.
Football is just 30 fitness, then 70 tactical. That is football. 30. But many of us do 70 physical tactics. Then 30 tactical. So that's the problem. I listened to one FIFA analysis after 2000. This South Africa World Cup. FIFA analyzed the first four team, the World Cup, and the last four. They discovered that the last four they cover more distance than the first four. The last four. I read all those analyses. They now look at what matters in football. They write everything. Why Spain are superior? Why this? What they do right? What other team? The team that run cover higher in group stage, they didn't make it to the knockout stage. So to tell you, everybody needs this talk we are talking because we are fit. In anything you are doing, you need fitness. It's not only in football. You need to be fit to do anything, as far as anything is concerned. And we engage ourselves in physical activities without being known. You work from your house, go down. That's physical activities. You walk to the office, you walk to your car. So what even does that mean? Just know the right thing to give, the right time to give it.
100%.
That's all.
Yeah,
100%.
right. Yeah.
So that is why I say it's very, very important, for we coaches to, to really train ourselves in order to be in the same level with what they have in Hero. So that no white man will come and tell you, hey, stay my bar. You will tell him, no, that is wrong. Because you know you too. No, it can't be that way. Because not everything those white foreign coaches are doing in Nigeria is right. It's not. But
No, it's
nobody
not.
should challenge them.
It's about knowledge. It's about knowledge
It's
and
about knowledge.
education. Yeah, if you're not
Yes.
educated, you don't know better.
So it's based on how we place ourselves.
Correct. 100%.
So let us pray it will change. Honestly,
It will. It will take work, but it will change. It will take work, and people have to hold them accountable. That's the thing. If you let them do whatever they want, they'll just keep doing it.
So I can't wait to see who's going to be the next president and see what are the plans he has for Nigerian football.
No, we will.
And how is going to execute all this plan.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you, sir, for coming on. Your knowledge is very much appreciated.
Thank you for having me here too.
Yes, and you and I will talk a lot more. So
No problem.
as you're here, but thanks again.
Yeah, welcome.
Bye, everybody.